So I haven't done a loadstar update on my YouTube channel in a while, and she's definitely in a state, but it's getting closer to running. There's a truck show in 2 weeks, and I wanted to take this loadstar to it, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. I took the old International 345 out and put in a Detroit 6V53 two-stroke. It has an Allison MT-41 6-speed transmission. In reality, it's a 4-speed. You start out in third under normal driving conditions unless you want really low torque. It has a 3-speed auxiliary transmission, mostly there for the overdrive, and a 2-speed rear end. So in total I have 36 gears. In reality, I only ever use 3 of them. I'm probably never going to shift the rear end. I'll leave that in high gear, and I don't have a shifter for the aux box, so I'll leave that in direct or overdrive and really only use the Allison. I had to cut away most of the firewall, maybe not most of it, but a good chunk of it. I've got patch panels and such just to fill. That's very convenient to fill things in. On the back here, there's a pulley and a hole for a hydraulic pump. I'm going to put a hydraulic pump on it for my power steering, and the pulley is going to drive GM one-wire alternator. I have new doors for it, new windshield. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the seat yet. This 4.5-inch pipe here is going to be the exhaust pipe. It's a good sized exhaust pipe. Got some exhaust 45-degree angles, 125-gallon fuel tank, Dayton rims all the way around. I do have spare parts, fuel filter, just a bunch of shit. The fan temporarily is going to be electric, but eventually it will be hydraulic. The cooling fan up front. The reason I want to go with a hydraulic fan over the traditional belt drive setup is space. Yes, the hydraulic motor will take up more space, but I can have the hydraulic motor be attached via just a couple of simple bolts, and I can move it out of the way very easily and have significantly more space versus having the belt drive set up, which would take up about the same amount of room, but it's significantly more difficult to remove. These are all tires. These are all drive tires. They look like steers, but they are retreads, so I can only use them on drives. This is temporary. I have a 20-foot steel flatbed that's going to go on it. And at some point, I'm going to make it 6x6. Mostly for fun, but also there is the practical, there is a practical purpose for making this truck 6x6. If I have to go into farmers' fields and go into some more off-road areas to pick up large parts, machines, or other things, then having this truck be 6x6 or at least 4x6 is going to be very nice. If I do that, I don't know if I'm going to take the axles and put them underneath this chassis, or take the cab and engine out and put them on the other chassis. This frame is double walled, but it's in pretty bad condition, if I do say so myself. Someone hit that side, so everything is bowed a little bit this way, which isn't a massive issue for what I'm doing. I'm not doing any serious pulling. I'm not driving it every day. It is double wall for most of the length. 125-gallon fuel tank. It's sitting up too high. I'm using the original brackets right now. I need to find some semi-truck fuel tank brackets to bring that thing down a ways. I'm not a huge fan of having this tank drag really low on the ground, but it's not a whole lot I can do about it. I might take a 55-gallon drum and make sort of a protector. It will have stacks. It does not have power steering at the moment. However, I would like to put power steering in it. I'm going to put new lights on it. I'm not going to do a whole lot to the body. It's going to look as rough as it is now because there's no point in making it look pretty. It's an old farm truck. So that's that. At some point, I might try to put a 10-speed Road Ranger in it. I think that would be a better transmission. Or just 10-speed in general. But that's kind of the progress on it. I might take the front leaves and flip the hanger bracket. Nope, never mind, it's already flipped. The rear is flipped, I think. I might try to make the front a little bit higher off the ground to get that fuel tank a bit higher. I might make new front hanger mounts because these ones that I have currently are hanging in there for dear life. It does start and stop from the cab. I'll show you guys that really quick. This is extremely crude, I know. I don't like it. But, as everything in life is, it is temporary. If I just hop up here, I can push this guy. You only need electricity to start it. This here's a choke cable. And it started that nicely, even though the emergency flap, which is supposed to shut the motor off in case it runs away, is on. This here's the dipstick. Why it is the way it is, I don't know. I need to get a new one. But that's the loadstar so far. It's going to be an instrumental part of moving all of my machines out to my property. And yeah, it's a project, but it's extremely cool and very loud. It will be extremely loud because there will be no mufflers. If anyone knows of a helicopter or aviation intercom set I can buy, I would be very interested because I will need noise canceling, but I'd still also like to talk to my passenger. Why don't I put a massive muffler on it? Well, cool factor.